and welcome to Morphenomenal Reviews. I'm Joe. Here with me is my co-host, Dan.
Hello and greetings.
Now, Rangers. Today's episodes that we're reviewing is Rocky Just Wants to Have Fun. I love this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes in the entire franchise. I love this episode. If I could give a 5-star, I'd give it a 5-star already. Lights, camera, action, where Zed tries to break into show business or corrupt it. He doesn't need to do anything to corrupt show business. It's already corrupt. I'm just kidding around, guys. Back to the Rocky episode. Rocky gets possessed by a spell, which just makes him want to have fun. And he neglects his duties, both as a student and as a karate instructor. This puts a strain on his budding kind of friendship with Billy. Now, the two of them have had a non-relationship from the beginning, with Billy hanging out with Rocky more out of courtesy because he was friendly with Adam and Aisha up to this point. The thing is, Billy's been a little meh towards Rocky at best, and a tad contemptuous.
Yeah.
And that said, in this episode at the beginning, he agreed to tutor Rocky, and Rocky showed himself a quick student. By the middle of the episode, Billy's making snippy comments and not impressed at all by Rocky. Rocky has to shake off the addiction of wanting to have fun with the help of Alpha's machine once he's turned into a ball. Fascinating, because while Zordon's even explaining, because of you, this is what happened and Zed possessed you, you can see with his eyes, Rocky glances towards each of the balls and an expression of utter rage overtakes his face before he admits, this is my fault, and he blames himself, and Alpha and Zordon comfort him, and Rocky gladly goes to fight the pachinko monster. Then at the end of the episode, Ernie notices it's fixed and goes back nodding. Hey Rocky, you want to play that with the pachinko machine? Well, Aisha and Billy are cringing, and Rocky barely even glances at it, just absent-mindedly telling him, no, I'm fine, I have to teach a class, then I have to study. At which point, Aisha and Billy have the proud looks of proud parents, and it's after this episode that we start to see, I'm going to be honest, one of my favorite bromances in Power Ranger history. Maybe even my favorite, the Billy-Rocky bromance. I know it's never really in the forefront after this episode, because this episode was about their bromance, but more and more in the next few episodes, you see Billy start to loosen up, and him and Rocky, by the movie, are basically really great friends to almost best friends. Where there's smoke, there's fire, where Aisha ends up selected as a junior firefighting assistant, more to help her raise awareness, but she takes the duties way too far. Initially, Kim's on board, wanting to support her bestie, but Billy tries to subtly hint that he's starting to get tired after a few hours of doing this with Aisha. Tommy ends up wording it as, I think she's taking this a little too seriously, guys. Kim gets angry at Tommy, but Billy says, you know what, I kind of agree. And Kim kind of passive-aggressively hints that she's not impressed with Tommy there. Tommy goes jogging with the guys, but agrees as an apology of sorts. Stick posters for fire prevention all over town, only to deliberately forget. Problems with his memories a few times. I get the feeling he's fixed it, and this time it was on purpose. Previous episode, Adam was noted for being absent from a workout session between Rocky and Tommy and him, and now this time we see Tommy going jogging with the two. It seems like Tommy, Rocky, and Adam, in order to build up their bond, are basically going exercising together, like what Tommy used to do with Zach and Jason, because he did exercise with those two, working out with these two, and even Billy sometimes, I've noticed. This episode sees Aisha get drunk on power, only for the Rangers to tell her off. She also tries to kind of alpha female her way into a leadership position over Billy and Kim when they're called to the command center, basically saying, no, this is a problem that requires all of us. You have Zordon, no, you know what? Let's humor her. You have Kim cringing and Billy scowling, only for Billy it could take a long time to make the chemicals required. And I'm not doing this. Far more help just putting out the fire at the park and just stopping the monster together. In the field, Aisha quickly steamrolls over Tommy and Adam. Now, she had steamrolled Adam before to get him to agree to a blind date that she had set him up for, but it is going too far. Tommy is very clearly getting irritated with her. Adam is trying to cooperate with her, but he can't, and he's getting beaten up because of her screw-ups. While Rocky trying to tell her, listen, Aisha, let me help, because he's the one who works the best with her. And he's trying to tell her and mediate with her, let me help, we're a team. And she's not listening. And then at the end of the episode, she realizes she went wrong. And the Rangers agree to channel their power through her to deflect back at the monster its fireballs. The team then bonds over fire prevention, with Ernie deciding to make a cake for her to celebrate her newfound humility. Bulk and Skull, who had, over the course of the episode, followed her lead, having kind of fed into her addiction to power a little. At the start, they had nearly started a fire stupidly and had mixed water and electricity, and Aisha then tried to make it look like the two were doing it as part of a demonstration alongside her, with Bulk looking really crushed. I think he was trying to impress her, but he was being a fool. She just took it in stride without thinking about it. Problem is, Bulk very clearly wants to impress her.
Yeah.
And she is very pretty. Even Skull wants to impress her. But the problem is, Billy warned them, no, I don't think this is a good idea. This is not going to end well. Skull inadvertently throws water on Bulk, right, as Aisha's blowing out the candles.
One thing that I actually noticed is that Aisha and Rocky, in the past couple of episodes, they're on opposite spectrum. Rocky was so caught up in having fun, and Aisha was so caught up in her focus on work that it caused the same problem.
Yeah, I agree. They kind of became different kinds of irresponsible. Scavenger hunt just has the Rangers going on scavenger hunt. Now you have Adam making a few remarks alongside Tommy about Kim's obsession with scavenger hunts. You have Tommy and Adam bemused. I like that Adam's on that team.
I have a feeling the reason why they chose those teams is to have Billy and Rocky spend time together and get to know each other, because we mentioned earlier
there was friction in the previous episode, but by the end of it, they were developing a friendship.
Yeah, whereas Adam, he's always relied on Rocky and Aisha to cover his back.
Yeah.
This took him out of his comfort zone with two people he just recently met.
And became kind of friends with. Kind of. By the middle of their scene, he's loosening up and he's making a lot of smarmy comments. It's always the quiet ones. I actually like when Adam was shy. I've seen Bosch make comments about how, my character didn't have a personality till the movie. No, your character had a personality. You did a great job, Bosch. I disagree with Bosch. I liked Adam early on. I liked him later on, too. I think Bosch did a great job. I think Bosch is kind of bashing the writing, which, fair. Like, kind of saying I needed to work on my acting, but no, I think Bosch had a natural knack. He's a good actor. He was from the beginning. Whereas you look at Rocky, Billy, and Aisha, the three are having fun. I love it when Bulk and Skull show up with that fake psychic. How you have Aisha. They've really lost their minds this time. She looks utterly disgusted. Then in the next cut, she looks like she's pitying them and like she's shocked, like her babies have just a mother, both proud, ashamed, and horrified by the turn her children have taken.
I don't like Rocky.
Rocky. Oh, I've got to see this. He's looking like he's snorting some.
He's like, I like this train wreck. I want to see it in slow motion.
And it's Billy that's fascinating. Initially, Billy's cringing and looking like, but then he looks to Rocky, kind of loosens up. Then by the middle of the scene, he's laughing alongside Rocky.
And what's most interesting is, here it is, when the three of them go to walk out, Rocky pats Skull on the head. Skull whaps him.
That's at the end of the episode.
Yeah, Skull goes to whap him lightly.
Well, actually, threatens to hit him.
But it was like they're friends. Like friends razzing each other.
Yeah, Rocky was like, I hope you didn't spend much money on that psychic. She was as phony as you guys there. Skull just threatens him. More like an irritated little brother. And it's interesting that Rocky has a bromance with Bulk and Skull. He is technically their love rival in a way for Aisha. But the two of them seem to really, deep down, they've taken to Rock. And Rocky really likes them.
The portrayals of Bulk and Skull, before the power transfers, they're nothing but cringe. They swallow up time.
But now they've kind of become friends with the gang.
You have Aisha, Rocky, and Adam that brought a different aspect of them out.
Yeah. Now, in this episode, we also see Billy do a good job teaming up in combat with Aisha and Rocky, whom he's going to have a lot of great chemistry with in fights, and really a great bromance.
Billy's getting an aggressive fighting style, but he's starting to have fun in battle.
Yeah, he was laughing and even smiling at one point in the fight.
Knocking a couple of putties, catching it.
I think it's Rocky who's teaching him to loosen up. Even Aisha. I think that it's fascinating that Rocky's trying to get him out of his shell, but in turn, he's tutoring Rocky and teaching Rocky that... Because Rocky's naturally intelligent. It's just Rocky doesn't have faith in himself, as we see later on in Zia. But the thing is, I like that they're teaching each other.
The dynamics between the characters are changing.
I like that we started with the two, with Billy a little hostile to Rocky, Rocky a little unsure of how to approach Billy in some ways, but then irritated by Billy, and now the two are, I'd argue, almost best friends. Although I detected in this episode and in Bukala Escape, I get the feeling Billy is trying to kind of subtly impress Aisha. Like, I know he gets a lot of tail, but it seems like he kind of likes her that way. I never noticed that before. I'm gonna be honest, I think Aisha is the most popular character of the opposite sex. Bulk, Skull, because Skull seems to have forgotten Kimberly entirely for Aisha. I have noticed that. And a few times it looks like Skull's trying to screw over Bulk when Bulk's trying to impress Aisha. Like, the two are kind of in subtle competition there. Well, not so subtle at times. Billy's trying to impress her. Once or twice Adam, but I get the feeling Adam deep down looks on her
as a sister.
Yeah. You've got even Rocky to an extent, when Rocky has a clue. Just saying. He's not exactly the most observant with girls.
Yes, and he's very entertaining.
5 characters, sort of, with Adam. Like, he's kind of a kid brother. 4.5, actually, I'll say, who are trying to impress Aisha. All at once. And the fact that they are juggling this storyline is fascinating. It's great writing. Like, I don't like Love Polygon, but here it's more in the background. It's not right smack in your face. The call escape sees, they discover a friendly alien. Zed wants to destroy him and whatnot. We see Aisha, Billy, and Rocky hanging out together once again. And then you have Forever Friends, where Aisha's oldest bestie, well, female friend, since the first grade, ends up a gymnastic rival to Kim, and also a friendship rival of sorts.
Are you sure it's not second grade?
First grade, she said. And Aisha slipped up and just said, whatever. We've been friends forever. Her friend doesn't take it well. The 3 girls are captured, and the guys are worried. And of course, Tommy has to morph into action, cut the energy cell open for Aisha and the one friend. Shannon, that's her name. I keep forgetting. To escape, and then Kim morphs, breaks herself free, and then the Rangers go to deal with the Jaws of Destruction, which is actually a pretty good villain. And a real fish story, Zed creates some underwater monsters to threaten local swimmer. It's a beach episode. It's not as good as the beach episode with Jason last time, I think, or even with Trini, where they had cousins who were threatened. I prefer those episodes to this one. That said, let's rate these episodes. Real fish story, I'm gonna be honest, quarter star. I'm not really fond of the episode.
Same.
I prefer the Jason and Trini one. Lights, camera, action, a 0.
0. I don't want to see Lord Zed trying to go Hollywood and try to star in a movie. It's like...
Something. Yeah, well, essentially, he tries to break into showbiz. That was too ridiculous. It doesn't fit with Zed.
Rocky just wants to have fun.
4.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm going to dub this a 4. I really love this episode.
You know what? Usually Bulk and Skull bring it down, but in this episode they bring it up.
Yeah. Scavenger Hunt, I'm going to say 3.5.
No, 4. I actually like nuances between the relationships of the characters.
Yeah, this was just a build-up episode for all the friendships. I really love this episode too.
And we see what goes on when they have a day off.
Yeah, I really like Bulk and Skull in this episode too. I don't like it as much as the other 2, but I love this episode still. Forever Friends, I'm going to say a 3.1. Same reason. Okay, actually 3.5 again. Yeah, I really love this episode.
3.
Not as good as the others, but you still love it. Yeah. And that's about it. Don't forget, tell us what you think of these episodes and of the power transfer again. And smash that subscribe button like you're Aisha trying to smash Scorpina's face in. And remember, Rangers,
may the power protect you.